Hey, yo, black man, what's happening, man? Peace, peace. Now, in this one, yo, black man, listen to me and listen to me clear, right? Let me get a swig of water before I start. This is going to be good. Now, now, if you look at the title of the video, The Pike Syndrome in Black Women, let me break it down for you guys. As you watch the clip, right? Look at the clip you're looking at right now. You see the bigger fish in the tank? As the video progresses, you will see the fact that the bigger fish is called a pike. Now, the smaller fish doesn't really matter, but the pike is a man-eating, well, not a man-eating, but a carnivorous fish, right? Meaning it eats other fish. Excuse me, sorry. Now, what you're watching is that fish constantly bang its face against that invisible glass barrier. Now, mind you, that invisible glass wall is being manipulated by the human being, but the pike is an animal, black men. As human beings, we're not animals, but we do have the same uh animalistic instincts, just like an actual mammal, right? Even though a fish is not a mammal, but look where I'm going with this, right? Pike syndrome is a learned helplessness, right? It's all psychological, but it's a learned behavior because as you watch the video, the fish is going to hurt itself, banging its face on that invisible glass. But the fish is starving. He wants to eat the smaller fish. But after hurting itself, that fish realizes with every attempt is just nothing but failure. So when I make this content talking about black women, look where I'm going with this, right? I tell brothers to stop trying, step away from them, and watch how things in your life improve. Because when you keep on trying, if you actually listen to my content, I say all the time, don't you brothers get tired of banging your head on the same brick over and over and over? The same way how that fish is constantly banging its face on that invisible glass. So, yes, between you and the black women that you want, not the ones that come after you, but the ones that you want, it's an invisible glass. Now, after a while of banging your head on that brick, just like the fish, after a while of banging his face on that glass, you will see the human being remove that invisible as far as to the fish, right? That glass wall in between the man-eating fish, the pike. I'm sorry, the meat-eating fish, the carnivorous fish, the pike, and the smaller fish. But when that pike gets around the smaller fish, he does not try to attack them and eat them, even though while he was trying, he was dying of starvation. So you notice that in that video clip, the pike just died because why? He realized with every attempt was nothing but just failure. Even though the barrier in between him and the smaller fish was removed. Why do you think black women make that content talking about men do not approach us no more? Men don't chase us no more. Men are acting sassy. Men are in their soft guy era. Because why? On a subconscious level, black women have trained the majority of black men. Because let's be honest, I've had more black men in the last couple years confide to me. I'm talking just guys who I personally know and random men, more random men than guys who I personally know, confiding to me, pause, right? Confiding me that, yo, it's not just me, right? I always knew it wasn't just me, but I know that most guys wasn't going to admit to it because when I tried to explain it as best as I could in high school, guys thought I was crazy. But again, I didn't have the vocabulary that I have right now to really explain it. Now, when you look at guys, again, fast forward years later, guys are not talking about it. Now I know for a fact because guys are telling me, yo, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. Well, trust me, bro, the solution to it is to give up. The solution to it, just like the pike, you give up. You stop trying in that particular area. Now, again, we're not fish, right? We're not starving for box. I would hope you're not. That's why I talk about semen retention. See, when you practice that retention, you gain self control, right? Sometimes, yes, just like the fish was starving, some of you black men, you're starving for pussy. You're starving for your next time to bust a nut. You're starving for that next opportunity, black men. That's where, I kind of look at that starvation period for sex. Look at it like fasting for a meal or in between meals, right? Because what you're learning is how to reverse that helplessness, black men. You realize when you keep on trying, all you do is fail. All you do is fail. Like I said in multiple videos before, after losing so many times, after failure so many times, you just get used to it, black men. That's what you guys don't understand. After losing so many times, after banging your head on that brick so many times, you just get used to it. And what you got to realize is this was all just manipulation, black men. That's what people don't realize. It's a learned helplessness, right? But it's manipulation. So the same way how that human being was put in the glass wall in between the pike and the smaller fish, that was black women. And they're taught this from young. In my previous video, when I mentioned that, a woman is trying to remain abstinent when we know they're not really remaining abstinent, she's still getting fucked just by other Glocktavias. Maybe not the baby dad, but other Glocktavias. But in between you, the average guy, the normal man, right? 10%, even 65% simp. That's why you have guys who will cosplay in Thug Max so they can get more options and increase that number to finally remove the barrier, right? Black women played that same game with you, and she was putting an invisible barrier in between you and her. That's why you kept on trying and you realize, yo, why am I not getting closer? And then when that barrier was finally removed, right? When she gets old, when that box is stretched out and used up, pussy stink, she has kids by other men, she's fat, have all this baggage, she has debt. She needs somebody to help her. But they don't realize you train black men through experience because guess what? Experience is the best teacher. You learn the most in life through experience. A wise man can learn from other people's mistakes, but only that guy who can tell you about it, he learned through experience, black men. And I can tell you my damn self, I never took real L's with black women as far as losing my kids, getting everything taken from me in a divorce, right? A black woman taking all my money from me, all my investments. I never went through that, but just trying to get them was where I was having a hard time figuring out, damn. Because mind you, it was never quantity, but it was always quality between my type, between my type and the ones I don't want. Trying to go after my type was damn near it was it was the hardest challenge of my life. Calculus 2 was easier than trying to bag a black woman. Anybody who went to university and took calculus 2, you know I'm not fucking lying when I talk about that. Calculus 2 was harder than calculus 1 and 3. Damn near on the same level as differential equations if you guys went into certain majors, right? That was harder. I'm sure trying to get a black woman was harder than that because guess what? I was able to study for those tests. When all the men or the majority of men are playing the same game and all of us are losing, but we only see a certain small percentage of guys winning, we're trying to figure out how is he winning and everybody else is failing. It's not the same when, again, let's say an entire classroom fails a test. Who do you blame? The teacher or the students? Right? Was the teacher providing the proper material for the students to study? Was the teacher providing after hours in his office to study and help with the work? Right? At that point, somebody has to receive the blame. And if everybody fails, you have to blame the teacher. Now, in the case of women, when you're watching the few amount of guys who are winning, and when I say the few, I'm talking like the few amount of guys who are winning. It's not like when you ask those guys, well, what method did you use to study for the test? AKA women, right? He's telling you he did this. He's telling you he did that. What do guys talk about? Maintain frame, bro. Stop being lame. What? Yo, you got to use game. What? So we all know, and that's what the whole red pill was about. When you apply those same methods that those guys were talking about, and again, even before the red pill, some things those guys said made sense back then, but it only works for who? Them. I can maintain frame all the fuck I want. That's not gonna make a black woman look at me any different. I can use game, clever catchphrases, right? I be watching those videos with the guys with the meta glasses talking about, yo, you must not like coffee. Why? Because your body tea. How many guys can go out here and use that same line and it's gonna work for everybody? How many guys can get out here and shoot these 3-pointers like Steph Curry and it's gonna work for you? So you see what I'm saying, black men? It's a learned helplessness. And that's why right now they're making content talking about how specifically black men, the guys who they made, again, like I said, hold on. First of all, it's a game that you did not realize you were even playing. You were watching from the sideline. You was watching from either the nosebleeds or some of you guys had a courtside seat. Some of you guys thought, yo, I was second stream. Some of you guys thought I was third stream. Some of you guys thought I was on the practice squad. Yes, he was practicing this bullshit on you. And again, after all that practice, after all those failed attempts, all you did was learn that if I keep on trying, I'm going to fail. So why do I keep on trying? So now you're sitting back asking yourself, well, damn, I haven't made any attempts. I'm shooting 0 for 0 from the free throw line. That's why guys talk about, well, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, but the guys they're going for make 100% of the shots that they do not fucking take. Those guys shoot no shots, but yet still manage to have wide open fucking layups. Because why? When it comes to us as the regular men, we're shooting shots. We're like Kobe in the gym. We're like Steph Curry in the gym. And even with all the practice, you still can't make nothing. Because why? She is like Matumbo in the paint. You guys watch me play 2K all the time. Yeah, have you noticed that I always play with the all-time players and my centers go crazy? Matter of fact, the most recent game I played with the 2012, 2013 Clippers, DeAndre Jordan had 16, 17 rebounds that game, and I dropped 10 to 12 points with him. If you guys remember Clippers in that time period, yo, they never won a ring, but they were a very, very hard team to beat because why? They were stacked. They were stacked, black men. So again, Keisha is grabbing all your rebounds. I'm sorry, Keisha is grabbing all your rebounds. You keep on shooting, keep on shooting, keep on shooting. She's grabbing all your rebounds. When it comes to those 25% Glocktavius, 25% Jay Fizzle, she's shooting shots for him. And what is he doing? Grabbing rebounds, grabbing rebounds, grabbing rebounds. Only thing is, Keisha isn't missing. Now I know I just said, yeah, Glocktavius grabbing rebounds, but that's only because every Keisha that shoots isn't gonna make the shot, right? And this is what I said in my last video. As a man, you can accept being average. Keisha, who's average on your level, doesn't think she's average. She thinks just because, okay, I have some ass, I have some titties, more than maybe the regular girl, I'm not average. Again, when a black woman understands she looks good, because why? Guys have been telling her, oh, you're cute, right? She raises her value. When she realized I have a bigger ass than other black women, she raises her value. I have better titties. or bigger titties than other black women, she raises her value. So again, all those things are just a license to act a motherfucking fool. That's why, and again, this is what I'm telling you, it's psychological, black men. That's why they say they can read you. I told you guys before, a black woman told me based off a man's lips, based off a man's lips, she can tell if he is Gay. How? HOW. How, Sway? How can you say based off a man? That doesn't even make fucking sense, black men. But again, they, on a psychological level, I don't understand, but they associate physical characteristics, facial features with behavior. How the fuck is that possible? How the fuck is that possible? But because that shit is so ingrained in their mind, and that's why I told you guys, when I look at a black woman, I can read her. Because I know exactly how you're gonna act. Because why? You got that fake ass fucking weave in your head. You got that fake ass fucking wig on top of your head. That's somebody else's hair texture. But you keep on playing with it. You keep on playing with it. This is my word, black man. Oh, and it's bad. It's fucking bad, black man. I heard this out the mouth of a older Latina. I heard this from an older Latina black man in her 50s. She pointed out a black woman to me at the job. And she told me how this particular black woman, right? She said, just look at how she keep on playing with her hair, playing with her hair, playing with her hair. She keep on trying to comb through it. When she pointed that out, black man, I'm telling you, everybody else knows this shit. It's just us who want to act fucking blind. I know I'm cursing more than usual, but it's really making me upset right now because everybody else can see it but us black men. Because why? Just like the Pike, there is an invisible glass in front of you. All you can see through it is Keisha, but you can't tell there's a fucking brick wall right there. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see how I am explaining to you guys? This is a learned helplessness. This is a learned helplessness. It's all psychological. And again, I skipped over this part. Grandma is teaching this to the mother. The mother is teaching it to the daughter. The daughter is learning it from the big sister. Auntie is teaching it to the cousin, right? The female cousin is teaching it to her younger sister. It's being passed down from generation to generation, black men. This is why when they get to a certain age, black men, they're wondering why are no good men around? Because all the good men are fucking broken on a mental level. This is why I always say in my videos, don't you guys get tired of banging your head on that brick wall? But I've also said in my videos too, imagine somebody who does 30 years in prison. You don't think by his 27th year, being in prison is normal. Listen to other guys in the cell next to you getting assaulted by men. That's normal. Watching other guys get extorted for their commissary, that's normal. Watching guys get beat up over nothing, that's normal. Watching the guards take advantage of other people and in cahoots with other inmates to take advantage of other inmates, that's normal. Waking up and hearing that cell clink, clack, clink, clink, right? That's normal, black man. Having to go into that cell block and guys are going into PC, right? They tell you, drop your pants and cough. They stick a finger up your ass. That's normal for them. Those are real things that happen in prison. You don't think after 27 years of living in prison that's normal? You don't think after 27 years of losing that's normal, black men? You guys remember? Listen, hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. You guys watched one of my videos. I forgot which one it was when I got spanked by Golden State. This is why I play 2K in the background because I'm telling you, I can always tie my content together. That video clip, I'm trying to remember the name of it off the top of my head. I can't remember, right? But It's the most recent video before I dropped this one. I got spanked by Golden State right after I got done using Golden State. Right? If you notice, right, I play every team with the team I'm playing with. Golden State spanked my ass by 21 points. If you look at my content, I play 2K on Hall of Fame. I'm not playing on rookie. I'm not playing on superstar. Granted, I'm using all-time team. So yes, it is a little bit easier. But you notice, right, when I play certain teams, even on all-time, I'm sorry, yeah, even with the all-time team on Hall of Fame, those teams can still keep up with me using all-time players. When I got my ass spanked, black man, I was really ready to kind of not quit 2K, but it was a wake-up call that I fucking lost. Mind you, I lost a few games before, but I never lost by 21 to the fucking CPU. That was a wake-up call for me. So the fact that I've been so comfortable just winning over and over and over and over. You guys remember that year Golden State went to the they kept on going to the playoffs and winning, right? That year they won, what was it, 72 games and lost 9? They set a new record in the whole NBA. You don't think after 72 wins that year, they just kept on winning over and over. They already knew every team we play, we're gonna win. And if we lose tonight, oh, you know, it ain't nothing. We won 25 games straight. All right, it ain't nothing to lose just one game. Come on, black man. You don't think after so many failing attempts, just like the Pike, after so many failing attempts and you're starving. Again, look at the video clip I made on my channel. It's called Being Starved Out. You don't think after starving, you're just, if you survive, you're just hungry. That's why black men, you take 2 out of 10. You take 3 out of 10. You take 4 out of 10. You accept disrespect from low quality. You accept fat women. You accept single moms. You accept bad treatment. You accept unattractive women. A combination of all 4 things. Because why? You're so goddamn hungry. You'll take whatever you can get. That's why I always mention in my video clips, yo, black man, you be scurrying through the garbage like a raccoon. Yo, you can't tell me this is not the best content on the goddamn internet, black man. When it comes to black men who make this kind of content, point out any young men making this content the way I'm making this content. This shit is like cooked crack. You keep on coming back. This shit is like cooked crack, black man. That's my word. But see, if you notice something, right? And again, black men who have the experience in this area, when you open up your options, not only do women who fit your type come after you, and again, I'm not saying that you can just be any old dude, right? Look any kind of way. You got no goddamn money coming in. You have no ambition, no type of health to you. Like, come on, I'm not saying you could be anybody. But when you're a man of real means, a man of real value, just because Keisha wants to ignore your value, just because she act like she can't see it. Because let's be honest, black women know which men are valuable. They definitely know. You think Keisha can't realize you're valuable? You think Keisha can't tell you're different? They know, but they act like they don't see you. They act like you're black men the same way how they put that glass wall in front of you. She act like she can't see through it. Bitch, I see through it like a windshield. But she act like she can't see it. That's why, have you noticed something when you're in public or you're in a work environment with black women? They really try to act like, again, I can't speak for other guys, but I know for myself. Yo, even when black women try to ignore me, they can't. They can't. They see me. But see, after all those failed attempts, I've trained myself to not see them, even when I do see them. So all I'm doing is returning that favor, black men. That's all I'm doing. And again, once I figured out how to do that, yes, I receive a whole lot more attention from them to the point to where they try to come after me. And I listen, to me is nothing because I know that even when they come after me, it's gonna be bad, right? So you taught me that When I try, I still fail. But even when it's the reverse, I still get something bad. I still end up starving. I'm telling you, everything is full circle, black man. So, like I said, man, when you open up your options, you realize when you do make an attempt, you don't have to shoot 3 for 81 from the field. You're not shooting a 5% from the field. What's that Stephen A? He said, yo, young man. Yeah, oh my God. I'm laughing right now, yo, black man. What's that Stephen A quote? He said, yo, you've been in the game for 32 minutes, 0 attempts from the field. Yo, that's a poor night. Something like that, y'all. I probably jacked it up, but you get where I'm going with that. You've been playing the game all night. Have you noticed something? When I do play 2K, I don't ever use bench players. I put no fatigue on, and I put the coach settings on manual. I run my starters all night, black man. And even for some of my centers or like my small forward, depending on what team I'm using, some guys you're only out there to just get rebounds and maybe get an assist. You've been playing I played 6 minute quarters. So you've been out there for 24 minutes, 0 attempts from the field. That's what I'm saying. Yo, black men, that's why they're online acting a damn fool. Because why? They're not receiving attention, right? What's the average time limit in an NBA game? Like 30, no, I'm like what, 48 minutes or something like that? It's like what, 15-minute quarters, right? Yeah, so guys are playing 15-minute quarters, and you telling me again, because the guys who I'm making content for 10%, we're not starters. I can admit that. Again, I can admit I'm an average man. I know I'm not a starter. I'm on the practice squad, if that, if not, if that. But if I'm not on the practice squad and I am on the team, I know I'm coming off the bench. I know I am. So the time that you do get to play, and I'm not 6 men off the bench. I'm probably like number 12. A lot of guys won't admit they're coming off the bench. But guess what? You got what, maybe 20 minutes of playing time all a game, and you ain't put up no shots because why? I know I'm gonna miss. I know I'm gonna fail. And I don't want to sound pessimistic, but it's funny how I've always been pessimistic, and especially now I've been hyper pessimistic, but it's protected me. I can't talk about how Keisha did this to me and did that to me. I'll keep it a buck with you. After university, like, well, while I was in university, I made up my mind I'm not going to enter no more relationships with Keishas. So as far as on a relationship tip, I don't have these bad stories of Keisha cheating on me past the age of 19 years old. So am I still holding on to 19? No, but it's a learning lesson. Because why? I had a whole lot more experiences with Keisha's than what most guys did in the early parts of university and definitely high school. After talking to a lot of guys, yo, Keisha was ignoring you from high school. I can at least admit in high school, right, the games were being played on me, but because I was willing to put up so many shots, right, I always had experiences, but I was learning, black man. That's why I said from early I spotted the pattern. Because why? I was still making attempts. Granted, some attempts were made, a lot were missed, but I learned. A lot of you guys, you learned how to give up early. You failed early. And I'm not trying to talk down, but it's because I learned from early. Again, a wise man learns from other people's mistakes, but experience is going to always be the best teacher. So I learned early, black man, my experiences. That's why I can make this content over and over and over. Anybody who can make this content, you know from experience, black man. Why? Because not only were you analyzing the game like a coach, not only were you sitting back watching film of your opponent, because you know who you're guarding tonight. Tonight I'm guarding Kobe. Tonight I'm guarding Carmelo. Tonight I'm guarding Steph Curry. Again, look at that most recent video where the Golden State Warriors bust my ass. D'Angelo Russell, I did not study film on him. Because why? When I was playing with Golden State, D'Angelo Russell wasn't in my lineup. I was using all-time Golden State Warriors. But look at my videos. There's been times where I put up 20 points with my main players, 25 points with my main players. You think the opposing team was ready for that? You don't think they was sitting back watching film, black men? See, I've been sitting back watching film on black women for for years, man. 10 years, 15 years, black men. Well, I'm not that old, but I've been watching film for at least 10 years. I know exactly who I'm up against. And you should too. But for you guys who don't, that's why I make this content. Anyways, black man, I'm out. Peace.